Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt. Welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. This is episode. I don't have a shovel. Why did I not make a shovel? I should have made a shovel. Let's make a shovel. Let's make some sticks. Now let's make a shovel. All right, got a shovel. I seriously don't have a shovel on me, do I? No. Okay, that's weird. Confusion. Let's deposit the rest of those sticks. And, whoops, as I was saying, this is Far Lands or Bust, episode 303. All right, that takes a while. See, right there. That is why I normally don't use an axe to destroy the workbench, because it takes the same amount of time as it would with my fists or a boat or any other object. But we're back, episode 303, Far Lands or Bust. Today, the date upon which I am recording, and potentially you are watching this for the first time, is Monday, October 7th, 2013. We are walking to the Far Lands in a westward direction here. And we're doing so to raise money for Child's Play charity at farlandsorbust.com. You can do that using the Child's Play charity widget right there on the home page. Currently at $46,779 raised for Child's Play charity this season. Season 4 of Far Lands or Bust. Trying to raise $100,000, so keep those donations coming in. They help get toys, books, games, and such to hospitals, kids in hospitals around the world. I suppose, it's been a while, 303 episodes. I could also remind you, if you go to childsplaycharity.org, there's further, more detailed information, testimonials, and whatnot. And hey, sudden cows, and stuff like that. But also, just so people are aware, I know it's great to be raising money for Child's Play charity through farlandsorbust.com, and once we raise $100,000 is when I will press F3 to learn how far we have walked, and that's always a momentous occasion and whatnot. But there are other ways you could give to Child's Play charity. The way the money is given to just Child's Play charity as a whole through Far Lands or Bust, or through any of these other live streams or fundraiser charities. Same with the upcoming Mindcrack charity weekend, which has yet to be determined a specific name to name it or not. We're discussing that right now, what to name the Mindcrack weekend, which is in 2 weeks, October 18th, 19th, and 20th. 48 hours live streaming with the Mindcrack guys for Child's Play charity. The money that you donate goes to Child's Play charity as a whole, and then they distribute it to the hospitals to get those things on their wish lists that they need to purchase, that they would like for their to have in their inventory to be able to provide for kids in their hospital, or their the children's hospital, or a normal hospital, the children's wing, the long-term care wing, or whatever. And another way that you could, if you would like, specifically give to Child's Play charity is, like I said, each of the hospitals, each of these partner hospitals, there's a handy map on the Child's Play charity website. If you wanted to, you can actually view the wish list for a particular hospital. Say you have a local hospital, and you could specifically buy an item or items from their wish lists to give to that specific hospital, if you're looking to support the hospital near you, or whatever connection you may have with that. So that's kind of a distinction, and something that they certainly mentioned when I was at PAX, that there are multiple ways. Certainly the biggest fundraising that they receive is through these community events and projects and live streams, and like Far Lands or Bust, like Desert Bus for Hope, like is it Mario Marathon? Mario Marathon. Yeah. And other such things as these. And I always hear of people doing little live streams to help out Child's Play charity, to raise money for Child's Play charity. So that's just a brief explanation, and it's certainly up to you. Obviously, if you were to go directly to a partner hospital's wish list and get them whatever they want, then it wouldn't obviously go towards the total raised through Far Lands or Bust. But I think in general, the biggest thing for doing a fundraiser like this is awareness. Is, hey, here's this charity that I would like to support. This is where it came from. This is what they do. And as you know, if perhaps you don't have a specific hospital or you don't want to buy a specific thing for this, that, or the other from a wish list, you can just add to the pool that then will be distributed and used for the different hospitals as the Child's Play charity people deem fit. I mean, even also, and I told this story from the panel, the Child's Play charity panel at PAX, there's a hospital that they have partnered with in Egypt. And because they're in Egypt, they can't have an Amazon wish list, so the only way that that hospital gets help from Child's Play charity is monetary help. And then while they were still building this hospital, they receive funds from Child's Play charity, and it seems like it's one of the only charitable places from which they're receiving funds, other than their perhaps private funding. And they kind of asked, our hospital is still kind of being built and renovated out of this older building. Could we? We know that Child's Play charity, toys, books, and games. But could we use some of this money to buy paint to paint the walls? And of course, Child's Play charity is like, of course. You don't want to have bare walls and whatever the building's made out of. You gotta have your essentials. So there certainly goes above and beyond even just the mission statement of toys, books, games, video games for kids in hospitals around the world. It helps a lot of things. So that is how that cookie does crumble. I have a little. My day is a little bit off. It's already 3 p.m. And I've only just had my coffee. You might be saying, Kurt, why did you sleep in so late? I did not. Slept in a little bit, but I'm terrible. I'm terrible at purchasing coffee in time so that I don't have a break. I always run out, and then I have a few bags on order, and they haven't arrived yet. And no coffee today. So I actually I did not have coffee today. I do have some on order. So what I had to do is I hopped in the old vehicle and went down to Whole Foods. I also needed some gluten-free items, gluten-free bagels and bread and whatnot. But Whole Foods also carries local coffee roaster beans. They in addition to their in-house label, they also carry Intelligentsia coffee, which, as if you've been with me a while, I get Intelligentsia, local Chicago roaster. Also Metropolis, and a few others. But I went in and grabbed, it happened to be on sale, a bag of Intelligentsia just to hold me over until my next shipment arrives, which should be in the next couple days. And I finally had it a little bit later, a lot later than I normally do in the morning. And also I figured, well, if I'm going to have coffee this late, I might as well have some sort of breakfast item to go with it. So on sale, they had gluten-free, in the frozen department, gluten-free donuts. So I grabbed a box of gluten-free donuts, and these were maple glazed. There was a choice of chocolate, not huge on chocolate, or chocolate glazed, and then also cinnamon covered cinnamon sugar donuts. I was between the cinnamon sugar and the maple glazed. I went with the maple glazed, and as I should have known, as somebody who's been buying gluten-free products, whenever you open them, they're always a little bit disappointing as far as size and, well, mostly size and overall consistency. But on the picture is like, oh, that's a donut. That is what a donut looks like. You expect a standard size donut. I don't know, about the size of the palm of your hand or something like that. open it up and, you put it in the microwave to warm it up from the frozen thing. Open it up and look at it and... Hey, these are the size of, like, golf balls. These aren't standard-sized donuts. What's up with this? But anyway, it was good, and it went well with the coffee. I will talk about the coffee in an appropriate time in the morning. And the golf ball size, gluten-free, donutsness. Spelunk. Woof. So yeah, I picked up coffee. I do have... Everybody asks about my coffee. I have the bag in front of me. I'm going to attempt to... Do I have enough? Yeah, I got enough bones. I was going to kill that pig, but... It's a little bit of a... I like to order the coffee instead of getting it at the store, because at the store it could be on the shelf for a week or two, as opposed to when you order it direct from the website. You get it delivered, and it's like, this was roasted 2 days ago, so a little bit more fresh if you order it direct, because they roast on demand. So... This wasn't too bad. This was... When was this? Roasted on September 26th, so... A little bit over a week, but, it's still a lot better than the stuff you get in the standard grocery store, your Starbucks, or your Dunkin' Donuts, or store brand coffee. But this is, I ended up with the organic Kurimi Ethiopia. So in Ethiopia, single origin, direct trade. This is an... Oh, sorry, Wolfie. I'm trying to navigate whilst reading away from the screen. I should have prepared this a little bit better. This is grown at an altitude of 1,700 to 2,000 meters. Meters, we're using the metric system here. Like a proper human being. Not like us crazy Americans. And let me read off the tasting notes, and let's try to do this without, like, jumping off a cliff or falling in lava. Intense floral aromatics are typical of Ethiopia coffees, though rarely as well articulated as with this coffee. Oh, that had to happen. A remarkable perfume, careful Wolfie, of hibiscus and rosewater on the nose leads to a delicate cup of with a silky mouthfeel and a soft pomegranate note. Very interesting, eh? And I will say, I normally tend to go for... I enjoyed it. It was very good. I normally tend to go for the more... Not so much the acidic or the... What's the word I'm looking for? The bright, I suppose, coffees. I tend to go for the more, I suppose, thicker, the chocolatey. Those are a little bit more typical of your central... I didn't know you could do that at all. I thought it replaced. Huh. Hold on, let's test. Give me... Oh, I already have, like, a stack of dirt. Oh, I thought when you placed... Unless that's in current versions of the game, when you place a block, it replaces the grass. Huh. So yeah, I normally go for, like, the Central South American coffees that are a little bit more, say, chocolatey notes, or mapley, or a little bit darker, say, your tobacco-y notes or something like that. So this, the brighter, the Ethiopian blends, not blends, but, single origin, whatever, tend to be a little bit brighter, but it was very good, very refreshing. And I will certainly enjoy this bag as I wait for the next few days for my new bags of coffee to arrive. So there, a kind of a brief introduction to the coffee I am trying. In case you want to or are able to order it yourself, you can compare. I don't know that I can get as in depth with the tasting notes as what I just read off the bag. But yeah, it was definitely a lot... I suppose crisper of a flavor, cleaner. It also usually takes a couple times for me to dial in the brewing on each different type of coffee. I believe this one I might need to grind a little bit finer to make it brew a little bit cleaner, I think. But yeah, that is how the donuts and my coffee situation has been resolved today, so fear not. I am not going coffee without coffee, and I did notice I was a little bit... You have that weird headache behind your eyes when you're not quite awake. Caffeine withdrawal, I guess. Well, I did not see this trench at all. Wait a dang minute. Was that not a pig? Am I seeing things? The coffee is getting to my brain. Was that not a pig? Was that not a pig for like 3 seconds? And then it turned into a sheep. I swear that was a pig. I'm going to have to look at the footage. I think I might be going crazy. I didn't get my coffee in time, and now my brain cells are starting to scream out in anguish. That was a pig, that had to have been, that was a pig before it turned into a sheep when it touched what looked like the cactus. Unless it was, I saw it first take damage from the cactus, and it was red, because that's the damage color that the animals get when they take a hit. Science! That is the most likely explanation. Let's see. A continuing topic from the last episode, I mentioned how my car doesn't have an MP3 jack. Ooh, it's the yin-yang symbol. Woof. Well, it kind of almost perfectly is. Ha! That's great. Avidia, check this out. Yeah, my car only has a CD player, so when I want to listen to my music, I burn a CD from my MP3 collection, and not the most efficient way to do things. And I also mentioned there's a way that you can jury rig an input by taking apart your radio and soldering in like an old headphone jack or something like that. Also, in the comments then, why don't you just buy a new deck, a new radio deck, and have that installed? I did that before. The problem with at least my car, it's a Chevrolet, and GM, for whatever reason, has some weird proprietary stereo. The size of the stereo is not standard, so it requires one of those additional mounting kits when you buy a stereo from wherever. I did that with my old car. I worked for a little bit at Circuit City, and then while I worked there, I got the discount and had them install, and it doesn't look good. It looks like it's been hacked together and put in with a little kit that makes it fit. So I never liked doing that, and I don't really want to do that this time because it has a CD player. All it needs is a jack, so I'm not gonna rip out its entire guts just to get a MP3 jack. But a lot of you recommended also, which I had forgotten about. Woo, they do make these FM transmitters that you can plug in to your MP3 player of choice or whatever, and then it transmits at a frequency on your FM band that then you can tune to with your actual radio, and then you can actually hear the sound through like a radio. Like you choose a channel that there is no actual radio station on, like near the top or the bottom of the range. 107.5 I think is actually a radio station, but you choose that, and then you also set that on the transmitter, and then it transmits within your car to your radio. Working at Circuit City and having a little bit of knowledge, I know a lot of times those aren't as, you do end up getting a little bit interference and losing out some of the quality. But that might be an option. Of course, I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to have this vehicle. I don't think those are very expensive anyway. And also, this would have been something I should have thought of 3 years ago and before then, when I was actually driving my car considerable distances to and from work. I do not drive my car that much anymore, except for the random occasions I need to go to the grocery store or, to pick up coffee that I don't have and stuff like that. So I don't... that is generally the time I really listen to music, would be in my car, and I don't really drive my car anymore. My My carbon output, it has dropped significantly since starting to do YouTube, which is fine. I am green for the environment. Working from home. Oh. Indeed. Let's turn some of these into planks that I need. Thank you very much. I believe the sun is starting to go down. Yep. Let's see. Oh yeah, a lot of people also mentioned in the last episode's comments that the most recent episode of South Park had a Minecraft theme, and I did watch that. You can watch those for free online. I watched that online, and it's pretty funny. Not as funny as the World of Warcraft episode, but pretty funny. It really wasn't all about Minecraft. There was obviously another storyline going along with it that just kind of happened to include Minecraft, but it was funny. It was pretty funny. So if you haven't watched that, check that out. I think the funniest part, I don't know why I got a kick out of it, but the dad was trying to play Minecraft and he's trying to figure out, and he was just like, well, how do you do this? What's this? What the heck is a magma cube? I don't know why that was funny. I think it was the way he said it, and I think the word magma cube is just kind of a funny sounding word. What the heck is a magma cube? Magma cubes, not in this version of the game. So let's go to sleep. And awakeness. And continuing on this. This looks like it's gonna... Whee! We've been coming across a bunch of sand, what are these things called? Deserts and cactuses and stuff I'm having to avoid. Let's see. Oh, there's everybody keeps asking if or what I think of about if I'm gonna watch or what I think about the movie Gravity, recently released this past weekend. Gravity is... I want to see it. I have not seen it. I guess I will say that much right now. There have been some spoilers that have been spoilt to me, but I would like to see it. I'm a little bit back and forth about whether or not I want to see it in 3D. I am wholly unimpressed with the state of 3D movies and also the additional $5 surcharge they tack on top of it when you want to go see a 3D IMAX movie. I don't know. Everybody says you have to see it in 3D. So I might splurge for that, but the 3D movies I've seen in the past, I've been unimpressed and have preferred seeing the standard the standard movie versions of them. But yeah, I'll want to see that. I know it's #1 at the box office, hasn't broken a lot of records and stuff for an October release, which is like not prime time to release a movie, I guess. It's by the director of Children of Men, which I really enjoyed. Children of Men. It's kind of a little bit of an underappreciated movie in my opinion. It got good critical response, but in the theaters it really didn't do very well. Didn't appeal to the masses, I suppose, but it looks like Gravity is appealing more to the masses than you would think. But I'm also a little bit worried. I'm going to try not to, but I'm a little bit worried that I might be a little bit too pedantic about the details, and there have been a lot of details shared about scientific details. Let me just say, for those of you who don't know, Gravity is Sandra Bullock and George Clooney are space shuttle astronauts, and I believe the story goes is that they're on a mission repairing a space telescope, specifically the Hubble, I think. I don't know how literal they are, and they get into a problem, and their space shuttle is destroyed by orbital debris, and they are sent out and lost on EVA, untethered, and they have to find a way to save themselves. And it poses a lot of problems, and I'm hoping I can suspend my knowledge of spaceflight and NASA and the space station and space travel and orbital maneuvers that I've learned from Kerbal Space Program and stuff like that in order to at least be entertained. Are you not entertained? A lot of good reviews have come out from Phil Plait, More famously and recently, Neil deGrasse Tyson has been hyper tweeting all of what he notices as scientific and factual errors, which he is very good at doing. He's very famous also for making notes that in Titanic, the movie, the stars are totally incorrect for the date and time and hemisphere, and just upside down and backwards and repeated across the sky. So he certainly can do that, and it is a little bit, yeah, it's just a movie and whatnot. But for entertainment purposes, that's what I'm hoping I can suspend my belief for. But there is a little part of me. Originally, I was a little bit concerned that it would kind of have like the Jaws syndrome. For those of you who don't know, after Jaws was released, it became a huge panic about sharks and shark hunting, and entire species went extinct because all these people, oh, Jaws, these are man-eaters, we gotta kill them and hunt them and fish them and remove them from the waters, and it just became really bad for the shark population. And I think Steven Spielberg really has said since then that he really regrets that was an outcome of it. So I'm a little bit concerned that might be a little bit of a Jaws effect, being that people will see this and be like, oh my god, space flight is so dangerous, why are we putting humans up into space? We should stop doing this, NASA, and put our money towards other things that aren't so dangerous. And even NASA has released certain articles and press releases saying that, yes, this is an entertaining movie, and there are a lot of good and realistic, they did do their homework, and realistic depictions of the tools and the sorts of things that actually do happen during manned space flight. But NASA takes many a precaution, many more than are even shown in the film, to avoid losing an astronaut on EVA and orbital debris avoidance and stuff like that. But I don't think, it doesn't appear like that is any of a problem. I don't think anybody's running out of the theaters telling us to cancel NASA. Although, on the flip side, I would hope it's good promotion. People get excited about spaceflight and stuff like that. Just like after Jurassic Park, everybody was excited about paleontology and going to museums, seeing the dinosaurs and stuff like that. So it's a little bit unfortunate because right now NASA is kind of shut down because our stupid government is shut down. And what is it, like 97% of NASA employees are without work right now because of the furlough, the government shutdown. So it's like NASA can't capitalize on the potential excitement around manned spaceflight or NASA in general that's come along with this movie Gravity. So that really kind of stinks, I suppose. But I haven't seen it yet. I'm hoping I can suspend my disbelief. I am kind of a bit of a stickler for details. Like seeing a movie with driving in it and like a chase scene, and they like shift the gears 27 times. How many gears does this car have? Like most famously the Fast and the Furious cars. Whatever they're doing, they're always like jamming on the gas and then downshifting, and like, how many times do you have to do this? That doesn't make your car go faster. Little things like that. I'm not too great of a person to go watch a movie with if that's something you want to avoid. The nitpicking, I suppose. But yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I'm looking forward to seeing it sometime soon. But yeah, Gravity in theaters now. Oh man, I have talked about a lot today. I kind of like having these rambly episodes because I'm always concerned about running out of things to talk about in Far Lines of Bust as we're walking so far. But I do have a bunch of questions. Obviously, we're still getting in those donations. I feel a little bit of a slowdown. Maybe people are holding on to their pennies until the Mindcrack charity weekend, which is fine by me indeed. Let me answer a quick question from somebody who donated. Kurt, do you consider yourself a nerd fighter or just a casual watcher of the channel? Well, now, I think they had a video. Nerdfighter, by the way, is the Vlogbrothers kind of, like you guys are Farlanders, and, different YouTube channels give different little nicknames to their subscribers and the communities surrounding them, like Hannah Hart is the Heartosexuals, and Nerdcubed is the Procrastinators. So there's, the Nerdfighters is kind of the Green Brothers, Vlog Brothers kind of term for the fans of the community, and in general the progression of Nerdfighteria and the nerdy awesome things, not forgetting to be awesome, excuse me, type of communities. And I think they had a video where you can't really define if you do watch the channel. I watch many of the channels that they are involved in and produce, like SciShow, the Brain Scoop, what are other ones that they do and do things with. But anyway, yeah, just a lot of those. So I suppose by their definition, even if I'm not specifically involved in the community, I'm not commenting on their videos or on any forums or buying their shirts or books or anything like that, I think they would still consider myself a Nerdfighter. I did check out, and it's still going on. I think it just passed the 1-year anniversary, the Nerdfighteria, the Minecraft server that I believe Hank kind of set up and got help set up, and I remember visiting that about a year ago, probably, when they first set that up. The people who administer the server were actually Farlanders themselves, and also Nerdfighters, so they invited me to come check it out. I took a little bit of a tour. I'm sure a lot has changed since then, but I believe they just passed 1 year. So yeah, I would consider myself a Nerdfighter, which I believe, I don't know that there is exactly any specific requirements that I would need to have. Whoa! This was unintended. Wolfie, don't push me down there. Thank you. Hopefully that is okay to deal with. Wolfie, why don't you come down here? Yep. Maybe I should make this hidey hole elsewhere. No, you can just sit right there. Very nice. Well, if I can make it the right size, it might work. Although, I am worried a little bit about the potential for things being able to spawn in this version of the game. If something could spawn within 2 blocks of your bed, then it will wake you up right next to your bed. A zombie or whatever will spawn and wake you up, as opposed to in the current versions of the game, it says you cannot sleep, there are monsters nearby. So I do always have to be a little bit careful of that. That happened once, and actually that happened when I was recording an episode during a live stream. I had Brian on the line, and yeah, this might be a problem. Hold on to your hats, everybody. We might have our sleep be disturbed. But yeah, thank you, everybody who donates to Child's Play Charity through farlandsorbust.com, or through any means. If you want to, like I said, go to childsplaycharity.org and check out if there are any local hospitals who have a wish list that you want to specifically purchase for. You can do that, too. It all counts. It's all great. And either way, I do appreciate you watching this Farlands or Bust. This is episode 303. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time.